Hello, 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 hello. This is super late, but we're rolling with it. I don't know what's going on with my hair, but again, we're rolling with it. I hope you're all doing well, and if not, I hope it gets better from here. Just lighting some incense. The energy I was tapping into was interesting. I'm hoping this is not one of those sad love readings today. I'm really hoping. I don't want to tap into that. Hello. So let's get into channeled messages. This is very short, so let's just dive right in. The channeled song I got was Careless Whisper by George Michael. Crazy start. Synchronicities, I got the numbers 611, 2020, and 311. Other synchronicities include foxes. You could have been doing a lot of affirmations lately. Roses are significant, as well as the colors teal and jade. So those are our synchronicities for today. Super short, but that's fine. Let's get into what's going on here today and roll some dice for which house it should be in. Hi, thanks for coming in. My denizens of the dark, welcome, welcome. Let's see. We'll do this really nice metal one for the house. Looks like we have the second house for wealth and possessions. Thank goodness, because I'm not going to lie, the original energy I got felt like I was diving into a sad love reading, and I did not want to do it. Hi, y'all. Hello. Thanks for the likes. And let's see what sign this is in. Looks like Aquarius. Ooh, detachment. Are you the type that's a bit more minimalistic? So with Aquarius in the second house, it can go two ways. You're either super minimalistic and detached from buying things, or you're someone who is a total spendthrift. There's no in between, right? My mom's an Aquarius. She spends money like it's water, and I wish I had that energy. You know what I mean? But that's very interesting. Good. So it could also be like spending money on travel, buying things that have a story, things that have character. So that's interesting. You could also be someone who makes money through travel, right? So we'll see. Wealth and possessions. Interesting. Let's get into the runes and see what this is going to be about. More detail. Let's get a little nosy here. Let's get a little nosy. You can also spend money on things that are a bit different, like spirituality, aliens, your current interest, those types of things. Looks like we have these two runes, which are Jera for harvest, so a harvest coming in, and Berkano. And Berkano is growth. Growth and harvest. Love to see that. You guys can see it for yourself. Growth and harvest in the realm of the house of possessions, house of wealth and possessions. Let's dive into charms, get more details. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Thanks for popping in. Interesting. So succinct. All right, we got ancestors, and then we got this little rose quartz charm, which is like self-healing, like self-love, self-healing. Could also be someone who spends a lot of money in those realms as well. Very self-succinct. Retail therapy is coming in strong here. Someone here could spend money whenever they're not going through a good time. Got it. Let's get into the tarot. Thanks for the likes. Oh my goodness. Let's get into tarot. I'm gonna pull out my little yes/no cards here. And as I said before in other lives, if you are looking for yes/no questions, you don't have to ask me them. You don't got to put your business out there. You just think your question, and whatever card I pull is your answer. Yes, it is. Okay? If you're thinking it and I pull a card, that's your answer. You don't got to ask me. You don't got to ask me. You don't need to put your business out there. 0101. What are you manifesting? That adds up to 2. So balance, reciprocity, partnership. Interesting. And it's in the second house. So balancing our finances out. Is that what we're manifesting right now? Okay. Spirit, tell me what's going on with the collective. Good grief. Aw, happy early birthday. Again, you don't have to ask me your yes/no questions. You don't got to pay me anything. You just think your question, and whatever I pull here is your answer, all right? Thank you. We don't need to know your business. You don't need to put it out there. So tell me what's going on with the collective right now about this second house, house of wealth and possessions in Aquarius. This growth and harvest. If you had a question, that's your answer. All right? If you had a question, that's your answer. 10 of Cups. We're manifesting our emotional fulfillment. Stability, security, harmony, abundance. Right? 10 of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. You can read it right there. That's what it means. Right? And it's in Pisces. Mars in Pisces as well. Interesting. And healing of the root chakra as well. So healing of our own foundational root. That makes sense. We currently have a Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So it's around thoughts around our luck, abundance, and wealth in Cancer, in family values. So like how our family taught us viewpoints around money and abundance. So it's interesting that you're manifesting this and that we're approaching the end of that retrograde. That'll be on March 11th. Oh, and I believe 311 was one of my numbers. Yeah, 311 was one of my numbers, which leads up to the number 5 for change. One more time for everybody who's just joined in. These are my yes/no cards. If you have a question, you do not need to type it. You do not need to pay me. You don't need to do anything but think your question, and whatever I pull is your answer, okay? You don't got to do that. We don't need to know your business. You think it, I pull it. Tell me what else is going on. Okay, so this is in reversed. All right, so if this is your answer right here, right? If it's in the reverse, it's the opposite, all right? I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear. The reverse of the Page of Wands, there's comparison going on. Yeah, there's some obstacles. Obstacles around emotional fulfillment. Yeah, and that's in that root chakra as well, right? There's wounds here. So we may be looking for, it could be wanting the abundance, not necessarily for our own reasons, but because we believe once we hit a certain point, we will be successful and we will find our happiness. No. Yeah, the angels are bringing in some self-love, growth and harvest. Yeah, that could be also the mindset around money from the family, is that once you hit a certain level in your finances, you will magically be happy out of nowhere. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Hi, R. Tell me more. So yeah, comparison syndrome, acting out, lack of energy, discouragement, obstacles. So yeah, this process could be a little bit discouraging, especially when you hit some obstacles. Hello, Brianna. Tell me more. What is this comparison syndrome going on around their happiness in the realm of wealth and possessions, of bringing in their money? Oh my gosh, thanks, R. I'm telling you, every time I do a late night live, even though I'm like, it's so late, y'all are so sweet. Oh Lord. Okay, well, I love you guys. If you had a yes, no, you got yes, no, right? And usually that means like, yes, but, okay? We have the Lovers, which is all about, since this is not a love reading, it is all about wealth and abundance, so more material manners. That relates to choices. People don't often talk about it, but the Lovers card is also a card about choices, right? It's major choices, temptation, commitment, partnerships, those types of things, connections, shared values. And my personal value system leads me to love, right? This can also indicate like self-love, right? Especially with the green here for the heart chakra, the healing in this realm. So that's kind of where we're at. We have some comparison syndrome happening here. It's interesting that we have the marriage showing up here with the Lovers though, because this is not a love reading. But it's interesting that that shows up. Oh, a Tower and the Knight of Wands reversed. Okay. I surrender to the storm. Sudden upheaval, unexpected change, divorce, bankruptcy, collapse of an old way of life, and shattering false beliefs. So we have this coming up right here, right? Right after that, right after the Lovers, which is major life choices. So, oh yeah, arrogant, reckless, hyperactive, overly confident, loud, show off, one who promises much but does not deliver. Interesting. We're trying to bring in our emotional fulfillment, but there's comparison here on our life choices and a shattering of a way of beliefs. Perhaps we have some viewpoints around money, like we may feel like we have to show off how much we have. Interesting. Thank you for the follow. And I did see your question earlier. This is a collective reading, not personal readings. If you want one, I offer that at the link in my bio. I don't like putting people's personal business all over the internet, okay? That's why I tell you, if you're looking for yes, no's while I have them out, to just think the question, not put it in the chat, because I don't need to know your business and nobody else does either. That's for you. Even if you feel comfortable sharing, not everyone's comfortable reading it. So that's just my own stance on it. No shade to anyone who does it. That's just me. That's my own personal thing. The Eight of Swords, the mental prison. Feeling trapped. Feeling pressure. There's pressure. There's pressure to have a certain lifestyle, to have a certain look. This would be like the type who feels like they have to get the designer things, to have the nice cars, to have a specific level of lifestyle in order to showcase that they're successful to other people. 222, yeah, okay, there it is. I got it. I see. Yeah, justice. Life lessons, decisions needed to maintain justice, law and order. I get what I give. Right? I get what I give. Thanks for the follow and for the likes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like once I get there, I'll be justified. I'll be able to breathe fresh air. I'll be happy. But like, it's never enough. When you get into that game, it's like everyone always has the newest phone. Everyone always has the newest thing, the newest trend, the newest this, the newest that. And like the comparison never ends and you never find the happiness because we're too busy putting all of our worth, all of our self-value into what we have, right? So that's kind of this pressure here to look a certain way, to be a certain way. In order to be a good person, in order to be valuable to society, I have to look like this, have this, make this much money. Yeah, and this is wealth and possession. So this is very much the type, like this collective specifically, it's about the material realm. I'm not saying you're money hungry. I'm not saying you're materialistic, none of that. But I'm saying there's definitely a pressure here to feel like I have to have certain things in order to appear successful. Interesting. Also, there's nothing wrong with being a little materialistic, all right? It's okay to want nice things. Especially if your money's not hurting anybody. Like, it's okay, all right? You can like the bag, it's fine. Spirit doesn't care about that, like, at all. As long as you're not hurting people with your money, it's fine. But I'll get off that little podium. So yeah, we're trying to get that justice out of it. Like, Tell me more. Thank you. Yeah, 4 Pentacles in reversed. Shedding the old, letting go of people, possessions, or issues. Generosity, sharing, greed, unwarranted fear of poverty. This is a collective, yes. It's a collective general reading. I'm not taking personal questions. I just don't do that. Not here. So there's a fear of poverty, a fear of not having enough. This is very much lack mindset, right? Very much lack mindset, especially in the realm of expressing ourselves as well. We have here like expressing ourselves, how we show up, our self-expression. It's like we want, yeah. And we have the Aquarius in the second house. So that's very much detachment. Like I said, Aquarius are usually either super minimalistic or they do retail therapy, right? There's not really an in-between. And my mom's an Aquarius and she's a huge spendthrift. So like, I know this. I have some Aquarius friends, and I know you're more than your sun sign, but like Aquarius are either like super minimalistic, living a very untraditional life. Like they'll have like a homestead or some kind of self-sustaining property where they give to people and all that stuff, or they'll be like super into luxury and things like that. One or the other. I've rarely met an Aquarius that wasn't one or the other. But I've definitely got here, we may be letting go of people, things, or stuff like this because we're noticing that the competition never ends. And it's kind of like, what's the point? What is the point of it? What's the point of it all? Every time I get the newest thing, someone already has the newest thing, and then I feel like it's the fear of missing out. Fear of looking like you're not successful because you don't have the newest thing. And it doesn't have to be a thing. This also applies to things like spirituality. But again, this is a material realm, so I'm not going to go off on a whole tangent. Let's see. So yeah, we're definitely in a fear of lack or scarcity here. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's a bit chaotic and throwing everything all over the place. This is a user error, so let me just pick up my mess. But yeah, it could have you a bit frazzled, like trying to figure out what to do, where to go, how to go about this. Kind of feeling like, am I just weird for thinking this way? Am I strange for not wanting everything to be about the newest, hottest thing? We have here a stalemate. Yeah, crossroads, trying to figure it out, right? Trying to figure it out, trying to discern with that third eye popping up here. Trying to discern which way to go. Yeah, because we're waiting for something to come in. We're waiting for something to come in. So whoever just asked their yes/no question, this would be your answer. Maybe yes. I know that's not a fun answer, but that's what we got here. Yeah, decision and foresight. Forward planning, moving forward, self-confidence, success. A crossroads on which way to go. How to proceed forward. Yeah, some sort of trying to figure it out. Spirit, tell me what their two choices are here since we're at a crossroads. Oh, that's 3 cards. So we have the Two of Wands, planning. 2 past decisions, options, planning, right? Grass is greener on the other side. So this kind of thing, right? Where it's like, well, over here looks better. Yeah, it's like over here looks better. Yeah, restlessness, detachment, withdrawal, wanderlust. Yeah, maybe it's better to go that way because it just seems like this is a mess. Oh, it's the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords in reversed. That's crazy. Because the King and Queen of Swords in the reverse are often very cruel with their words, right? So we have selfishness, ruthlessness, deviousness, premeditated malice, someone who's overly cautious, and gossip, malicious lies, bias, loss, misery, one who puts people down and can't be trusted, right? That's these 2 energies. So we're trying to figure out, like, this is the current experience I'm getting, especially since both of these are Aquarius. Our current experience is realizing that people who play this game are this. Like, the lifestyle we're trying to live is filled with this versus this, right? Versus trying to go forward somewhere else. Because it's like, it can't be, it just can't be, like, what if, yeah, truth. What if it's different? What if I did it different? Yeah, it's like, look, when I put them on the spread together, It's like he's looking at all of this and has the world in his hands and he's going, do I really want that? Is that really what I want? Do I really want to be around people who do this? Interesting. It's interesting that we had 2 Aries right after that. Wanting to change, wanting something new and different. Is this really all that is? Is being successful supposed to be being surrounded by people who are like this, who are always critiquing everything I do, everything I have, whether or not I have the newest thing or wearing the newest look and all that stuff? Interesting. Tell me more, Spirit. Yes, it's like we're trying to figure that out. Moving forward. Which one do I pick? Good grief. 9 of Wands, and we're very guarded about it. That resilience card right here. Yeah. It's like, Ongoing battle fatigue. Yeah, it's tiring. That's an exhausting lifestyle. What are these 3 cards that decided to throw themselves out there? Strength, the Empress, and the Fool. Wow. Big life choices. Strength begins with the choice to be kind to myself. Connecting to the earth reminds me that abundance is unlimited, and it's time to embark on a brand new beginning. Wow. Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, so we have this one, right? More of that fire sign energy, more of that motivation. Being like, maybe, what if I took myself out of the rat's race, so to speak? What would happen? What would happen? Would I get into this? Would I finally be able to relax in what I have and just be happy with it? Because it's like the Empress has a beautiful garden. She's surrounded by abundance. She's surrounded by luxury. She's good. But if we're too busy worrying about what's going on over here, we can't appreciate our own garden, even though it's a perfectly good garden. Yeah, and it's like, and then I can start something else. I can put my focus and my mind elsewhere. I don't have to worry about this rat's race that I don't even want to be in. You know? Yeah, I can see very much that we're in that space of still trying to decide which path is right for us. We're very much heading in that direction. Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more. Let me move this. It's in my way. Tell me more. Well, I'd love to see this, because like I said, you can either be someone who's a spendthrift or super minimalistic. That's usually the 2 routes here. You can be in the middle, that's fine. But that's just from my personal experience, that's who I've noticed when it comes to Aquarius and their money. That's just what I've noticed always. So, yes. What else, Spirit? Oh, I saw that Hanged Man. So there's an underlying perspective shift that we're going through as well. It's like you start out in the rat's race, you start out really like in it and going, oh, this is great. I always have the new thing. I'm around people who are successful. I'm around people who look a certain way, but it's very disappointing. It's exhausting, it's draining, it's disappointing, it's never enough. And if you aren't on top of everything, these people are super fickle. It's like you're cool until you don't have an iPhone. And then all of a sudden you're the scum of the earth, and that makes no sense, it's a phone. You know what I mean? You're like, what? It's that kind of energy, yeah. The Knight of Cups, yeah. Romanticizing your life, taking action, following your heart. Right? This is all about creative expression, right? But the Knight of Cups is someone who goes forth with their emotions, right? They're the ones who go forth and they romanticize their life. It's not so much about chasing validation. It's about, am I having a good time? Am I enjoying myself? Is this the type of life that I want to live? Am I enjoying my time on this planet? Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah, it's like going that way. He's heading towards the future, right? In the spread, he's the only one facing the future right now. I want to go forward and just be myself, express myself, live my own life, get the things I want, be surrounded by the abundance that I like, not what everyone else says is successful, is abundant, and all that. Yeah, it's kind of like I have a ton of money, but I'm not happy here. And maybe not even a ton of money, but like we're comfortable. But for some reason, we're still miserable because it's not worth it. We've gone in too deep. And we're just now realizing we've gone in a bit deep. Yeah, there you go, being selfish, good. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, by the way. If someone calls you selfish and all you're doing is saying no to things or having boundaries, you're not selfish. They benefited from you saying yes to everything. Okay? Let that be your reminder, no matter what. If anybody ever calls you selfish just because you don't want to play their game, they benefited from you playing their game. Because being selfish is hurting people with your resources, you know? Thank you for the follow and for the likes. I really see y'all. How many more? The star. Yeah, we want to head towards our healing. I gotta cover her because her bits and bobs are out. But it's hope, recognition, inspiration, contentment, renewal, like healing, positivity, rejuvenation, hope, health. The universe shows me that I can have faith in my dreams. Heading towards our healing. You know how I said he was the only one facing the future? The only one facing the healing? And this is also an Aquarius card. Yes. And this is the crown chakra. So it's like, I know there's more. I know there's more than this. I know there's more to this. 1, 2, 3, yeah, progression. On the right path. That adds up to 6, Lover's card. There's more to life than this. Yeah, there's more to life than fighting over this, who has the biggest stick. Right? Competition, fighting, arguments, disagreements, struggle, opposition, right? That, oh Lord, let me just drop it. But it's conflict. There's more to life than who has the biggest stick. There's more to life than that, right? Because even if everybody had the same salary, even if everyone had the same everything, we would still find something to try to be better than everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, there would be people who would still do that. You just look at history. They always find a way. Yeah. It's like, what if life was more than that? What if life was different? Yeah, because you would have people who would be like, well, I'm more healed than you. Which is a wild statement. What? What are you talking about? If you're coming with a I'm more healed than you, baby, you're lying. Baby, no. First of all, you're never fully healed, but to make it a race, you are on the wrong, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're a whole different level of Delulu. Ain't no race. What are you doing? Yeah, it's the people who always make it a race. It's fun to have competition. It's fun to have a friendly competition, but like not on that. Have a competition on like, I don't know, Mario Party. Dude, that's where it should be, not who's the most healed from their trauma. Crazy. Yeah, the magician. Yep, magician. Yep, we're manifesting. Haste. Yeah. Oh, my nose is itchy. Confirmation. I have all the resources I need, inner and outer, right? Manifestation, self-employment, willpower, directing your will, manifesting your desires, right? With that beautiful Mercury. That's what that means. And we're manifesting our haste. So big changes and opportunities, seizing the moment, jumping in, direct, honest. One who gets what he or she wants. Right? Another Aquarius card. If you're not an Aquarius, it's somewhere in your chart or you're just in that mode. That's the energy you're currently in. This is so strong, it's crazy, right? But that's kind of what we're trying to manifest into our life. And swords are all about thought and words. So it's like we're using our thoughts and our words to manifest better. So again, I got affirmations earlier. So you could be someone who does a lot of affirmations, especially around wealth and abundance. Yes, exactly. Carpe diem. So using your brain for better. Instead of using it to beat yourself up, starting to use it to bring more into your life. Yeah, seize the day. All right, I'm gonna pull 2 more of these and then I'm gonna move on to a different deck for why I'm even on your FYP. Why I'm even here telling you this. Give me 2 more, Spirit, on what else is going on. I think I'm onto it. So we have death, yeah, so deading things, change and transformation. Yep. I'm willing to let go of a past version of myself. So bringing in that death energy, bringing in that transformation, that much needed transformation. This is probably an ego death is what you're going through right now. And there's nothing wrong with an ego death. It's more of getting out of things that harm us and moving us into better, right? It's when we get a bit too invested in the rat's race and then it runs our whole life and we just have a wake up call, come to Jesus moment and go, what have I been doing? You know, those kinds of things. Last one for the collective on what is going on at the moment. So interesting. Well, I saw that, but it didn't come out, so I don't want to hear it. Oh, good. Oh, that means you're tapping in, R. If it starts feeling like you're going a bit crazy, but you know you're not crazy, then you're tapping in kind of strong. There we go. Yeah. Okay. No obstacles will stop me now, but we have it in the reversed for the Chariot. Lack of direction, being blocked by obstacles. So yeah, we have some obstacles going on right now towards our manifestation. And that's probably why we're feeling the way we're feeling. Yes. Yeah, it's like I can't quite, that mind prison, I can't quite make my decision on if I want to stay or go just yet. It's like I've been thinking on it for a while, but I haven't quite made the leap yet. Okay. So I'm putting away my yes, no cards for now. I'm gonna light some more incense because I got heavy apathetic vibes this morning. I woke up at 8 p.m. I got heavy apathetic vibes, and I don't want any of that for y'all or me. So I'm just gonna clear that out of here. Cute. That's funny. I already pulled cards for you, friend. If you saw the yes or no cards, that's your answer. Okay, let's see. Actually, you know what? I don't normally do this and I'm not gonna do it ever again, but just for you, Taylor, hold on. Will Taylor get a new job this year? No. There you go. I'm sorry if that's dumb. The answer is no. All right, let's get into marigolds for why you need to hear this at this moment. Why you need to hear this at this moment. And yes, I won't be doing that again because again, I don't like putting people's business out there. I just don't like doing that. So if you come in when I'm pulling the yes, no's, you get your answer. You don't got to ask me, but I don't pull because I don't like being the bearer of bad news. I don't like doing that at all. So let me shuffle this the way I usually do. Let's see why you even need to be hearing this at this moment. Now, I will say with tarot, right? And why I don't like doing yes, no's with tarot is because tarot is a snapshot of your current energies. So even though you got a no, that can change depending on your energy for the next few months, right? So it's not set in stone. It's not a permanent no, never, right? It's a current no. So you can change it. You can change it. You're the author of your own life. You can create your own destiny. If you really want that job and you put forward the intention of doing it, if this is what spurs you to go put that intention into doing it, then you will have it, okay? Yes, it's very much more maybe coded, and that's kind of why I don't like yes, no's. All right, why do they need to hear this at this time? Because a lot of people will take this as the gospel, as this is what my life will be like forever. I'll never, they use it as a way to talk themselves out of things, when that's not what tarot is supposed to be used for at all. It is supposed to be a tool that you use in order to better yourself. You know what I mean? It gives you the current snapshot so that you can pivot, make different choices, and move forward. It's not supposed to be the thing that hinders you or keeps you stuck in the repeating cycles. Why do they need to hear this at this time, Spirit? And we're getting into the shadow work deck, so this might get spicy. We'll see. And I don't mean like naughty spicy. I mean like we might hit some truths you might not want to hear. All right, so we're currently in the devil energy, right? Whenever I see horizontal cards like this, that's our current energy. It goes either or. So you see how we have in this specific deck, there is a person here whispering into the other person's ear, and there's a snake. So we've been living with this cycle of people who whisper these things into our ear and keep us stuck in the self-sabotaging loop, versus leaving that situation, leaving behind those addictions, again, that retail therapy. So like using that kind of thing to cope with issues we may have at the time. Not a bad thing, everyone does it, but that's currently where we're at. We're trying to go from being in this cycle to leaving this cycle. So we're still in this little in-between at the moment. What else are we hearing this at this time? Yep, and this Six of Wands, looking for our recognition. Again, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, yes, this is what I usually call the void. It's part of the healing process. You have the ego death, and then you go into the void, and that's where you get the healing, where you find the light, right? We're looking for our recognition. We're looking for that validation. You could have engaged in this rat's race, in this trying to succeed because you were looking for the validation, you did a good job, you made it, you're successful kind of feeling, right? Everyone does it. Again, this is not a dig on anybody, but that's kind of where we're at. This addiction to validation, right? It could also be an addiction to gratification. So yeah, using that as a metric to measure our self-worth. Why else? But it's like we kind of woke up and we're like, it's never going to come. Yeah. It's never going to fully come because I'm always looking for someone else to tell me I'm doing a good job instead of being that for myself. And people are fickle. They'll always change their mind on what success looks like. Yeah, Three of Wands reversed. So things not working out, right? Like I said, right? We'll pull this out. Unrealistic plans, arrogance, a promising venture fails to deliver, lack of foresight and planning, right? That's what that usually means. So like, that's kind of where we're at. Things aren't coming to fruition. Like I said, we have had this addiction, and it always ended up with not getting what you were looking for. Either you would get a little bit and it would, give you the dopamine hit and you would continue to go on, or it just wouldn't. And so you would continue to chase and chase and chase, and buy more, get more, surround yourself with the things that felt like continue to give you those hits. But it's just not, it's the same thing as addiction. Like it's like you have to do more and more and more to get less and less of that happiness. You know what I mean? It's a very fickle, losing game. And the Page of Cups, yeah, makes you kind of sad about it, right? Page of Cups is all about creativity. It's all about creativity. It's all about expression, that self-expression, going on a journey, new creative ventures, right? Yeah, like not the plans for new creative ventures, the plans for that whimsy energy, that bringing a little bit of adventure to your life haven't been going forward. Friend, yeah, breadcrumbs, exactly. Friend, I saw your question. I already put away my yes/no cards. So I will not be answering that question. The Lovers, again with the Lovers here, the choices, the partnerships, the relationships, the connections in our lives. Unfulfilled plans. Yeah, it's like you would have the friends, you would have the business partnerships, you would have the relationships, and they were centered around the material realm, and it's a losing race. It's It's a never-ending, like, it's like the people who the minute you don't have an iPhone anymore, they're not your friend. You're like, what? You know what I mean? Or that kind of thing. Yeah, a never-ending loop of self-sabotaging. We want more balanced things. We want the better. We want this like really creative, inspiring energy that fills our cup up, and we have more balanced partnerships and friendships with people and within ourselves. That's what we want. But it's like it was always falling through because the gratification was never lasting. Yeah. Tell me more. The Nine of Wands. Yeah, we're still a bit defensive towards this. Yeah, spinning in a figure eight. We're still defensive about this. So there we go, right? I'm going to show you guys. Whenever I see this in the spread, I'm going to make sure I don't mess this up, right? Whenever I see this in the spread, we have our two horizontal cards, our upright cards, and then the other horizontal. This is the current journey, right? Still a bit defensive towards new things because we have had a lot of unfulfilled plans, unfulfilled promises because of being in that rat race, because of looking for the gratification and the vindication, right? Because we were addicted to other people telling us whether we were doing a good job or not. That is why we're in this loop right now, because we're healing this. We're going through this. But I see the Nine of Wands is facing towards the future. So it's like I'm still a bit guarded towards the future, but I am moving forward. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. Oh, my deck's upside down. Well, we'll figure it out. The Magician. Yes, manifestation. I'm still manifesting. I'm working towards the manifestation. I told you, affirmations. You could also be listening to subliminals. You could just be really praying about it. Whatever the case may be, however you manifest. You're trying to make a change, and the change is involving this. We still have that resistance, but that's fine because we are working on it. Yes. Yes, exactly. I'm glad that you popped in and are asking that question because this reading is collective and it involves the house of wealth and possessions. So stick around and see if it resonates. Welcome back, R, and thank you for the follows. Interesting. Tell me more. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time. Thank you. Yeah, Six of Swords in the reverse. So it's like we're not trying, like we're currently staying where we're at. We haven't left this yet. We haven't left this mindset just yet. We're still there. But like I said, we're working through it. We haven't quite made the decision to leave just yet. We're still in the in-between. Weighing out our pros and cons. Even if you detach from the specific people, you still have to work through the mindset that got you there. You know what I mean? Thank you. Another sideways. For the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so we have days where we feel really good about doing it and days where we feel really not good about it. So also this can be like the over-giving type of energy versus giving just enough. So yeah, pouring out of a full cup versus pouring out of an empty cup, that as well. So yeah, we're still doing that. We're still very guarded. And we're still flip-flopping between those two energies because we're still working through it. Yes, it is a collective reading, and it will stay a collective reading. Yes, filling your own cup, absolutely. Not letting everybody else tell you what you need in order to be happy. Oh, I see a star again. Okay, yeah, chasing that healing. Going towards the healing, right? This is interesting, right? Because crows are a symbol of messengers. They're messengers from the divine, specifically. So some of you here may be witchy poos. You may be utilizing some spells in order to help with the manifestation. Same here, babes. Others of you, it just means that your spirit guides are talking to you, whoever you believe in, whether that's your highest self, the universe, your ancestors, God, insert person here. 44, 44. Yeah, getting that stability and security coming in. So it's like we're trying to heal our wounds around that, around our foundations and stability. And yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Yes, putting in that dedicated effort, the daily grind. So again, the affirmations, doing that work, trying to manifest, using our minds wisely with the fox that I got earlier, as well as roses for putting more love into yourself, and jade, which is a very healing stone, right? It's specifically really good for heart healing, especially if it's real jade and not just green aventurine. But putting that work in in order to vibrate at the frequency to call in what you're looking for, right? So we are working on that, even if some days we flip-flop between being in that energy and being back in the really low energy. And that's fine. You can still manifest while vibrating at a lower frequency. That's part of the process. You can still do it, right? Even if you have a bad day, you'll still get it. The fact that you're showing up and doing it is what will bring it to you. Okay? Why else do they need to hear this at this time? I love that when I use this deck for y'all, it's so nice, but when it's for me, they're not nice. Two of Pentacles reversed. So we're still dealing with time management issues, not necessarily having our priorities figured out just yet, maybe overly busy. Yeah. Not a whole lot of balance. So it may be a bit hard to do this just because we have a lot going on the outside. Still worth the effort though. I do see the strength in the undercurrents here, so it seems like you're still persevering despite the obstacles. As I saw earlier, it was a lot of obstacles in the way towards the healing, but you're still persevering. You're still doing it. Towards our happiness, that Nine of Pentacles popped out again. So the Nine of Pentacles is the Nine of Pentacles is like the mini Empress, right? She's the card of someone who's in her own garden, living her best life, right? She's decked in the same outfit as the Empress, but it's yellow instead of white. And she's currently working on more abundance. She doesn't quite have the 10th pentacle yet. But it's like she's good where she's at. It's the ultimate, like, that card, every time I see it, it's like, how do I put it? It's the single and loving life card. Single and happy to be here. That's kind of the vibe I get from the Nine of Pentacles. Not that you have to be that, but that's the energy I get from that, is being content with life. So we're still in between here, heading towards our Empress energy. That ultimate, like, actually I'm good where I am and I don't need anyone else to tell me if I'm good or not. Yeah, still in between there. So yeah, you see how, as I said earlier, whenever I see horizontals, that current energy leading up to uprights and reversals, this is the current journey, right? That current journey we're going through. So while we are currently working through our self-sabotaging cycles of looking for external gratification and dealing with plans not coming to fruition from other people, especially around like our own choices, people around us, creative ventures, self-expression, we're a bit guarded towards this journey at the moment. But we also have this one going in the background of sometimes we're feeling really good about our decision, pouring into ourselves, and sometimes we overgive, sometimes we pour from an empty cup, sometimes we're very moody about things, and it deals around our healing, around working hard towards bringing in what we want, and sometimes we're just off because things are just really busy. Really busy, and we don't feel like this yet, but we're working towards it. We're working towards it, and that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Hold on. My stuff is upside down again. There we go. Yeah, it's like 1 minute your deck of cards, thank you for the follows. 1 minute your deck of cards will be upright and good, and the next will be upside down. And you're like, what the? Yes. Why else did he need to hear this at this time? That's a bit confusing, really. It's like, you see my cards here. Some of them are turned around and some of them aren't. And I'm like, what the heck? When did I flip my deck upside down? Welcome back, Har. I've already put my yes-no cards away, so I won't be answering yes-nos. Stick around, see if it vibes with you. If not, that's totally fine. Have a beautiful day. So we have the Eight of Cups in reverse as well. And the Eight of Cups is leaving situations behind that we've put a lot of time, effort, and energy into. So that's kind of where we're at. We haven't quite decided whether to go. We're a bit resistant. And again, I told you, you can separate yourself from the people, places, and things that put you in that energy, but you still have to work through the mindset, right? So we're still there. We're still in this, I'm not quite ready to leave just yet. We have the Seven of Pentacles as well, looking at our lives and the choices we've made to get here and aren't quite happy with it. Thank you for the repost. I love night people. Every time I come on here, y'all are great. And the King of Cups in the reversed as well. Yeah, we're not happy about it and it puts us in our feelings and we're drowning in our emotions just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's why you're hearing this at this time, is because we're feeling a type of way. We're feeling a type of way while we're trying to heal situations and bring in better. Gotcha. So some of you may be worried, especially if you're someone who believes in manifestation, you may be worried, if I am in a off energy, if I'm sad, will I still get what I'm looking for? The answer is yes. Yeah, overwhelming for sure. Healing is not cute. It's not easy. It's not fun. It is painful, messy, and rough. And not in a fun way. Eight of Wands. Yeah, but energy is picking up, right? Even though we may feel that type of way, energy is picking up. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse here too. Yes, it is maturity. So energy is picking up. And we're no longer having to be so defensive about ourselves. You may notice a less criticism heading your way. Yeah. Or even if there is criticism, we're not taking it personally anymore. You know, we're healing that area. So the energy is picking up of not criticizing yourself. And if people do criticize you, you're just kind of letting it off your shoulders. You're like, no, I'm good actually. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. The Page of Swords, yeah. Doing more research. Yeah, doing more research, having more intelligent conversations. The pages always represent new energy. Yes, exactly, Ari, that's exactly right. Page of Swords is new energy. It's always a start of a journey. It's not quite an ace. The page is a younger energy, right? So anyone who's coming to you with conversations, people who may be watching, who may be commenting on your stuff, you're not really worried about what they have to say. And you're doing your own research into what you want. You're expanding your mind as well in order to bring in newer things. Yes. I love that. That's beautiful. And the Two of Cups in reversed. Yeah, especially if the relationship you have with them is not reciprocal at all. Okay, because the Two of Cups represents reciprocity above all else, right? If people you're talking to are not in this energy, if you have been over giving to them for a while and all they do is critique you in this realm, you are not hearing it. You're not hearing it at all. Okay, and so I don't have, I don't know what the new thing is. I don't have the newest car. Okay, and so, yeah, I'm not doing the broken home anymore. I'm leaving that behind. I'm not doing the broken home. I'm not doing the arguments. I'm not doing the disharmony. Even if it's still around me, I'm not doing it. I'm not engaging in the game. The King of Pentacles as well. Yeah, I'm stepping into this. I'm stepping into the grounded energy. I'm stepping into my stability. I'm stepping into you can rely on me once you show that I can rely on you. Yes, exactly. Walking away. Let's see. Who is this? The Nine of Swords. So yeah, even though this may put us in our head at times, because we're like, oh gosh, what am I doing? Am I wrong here? Am I being a bad person? Am I going to call forth what I want in my life by being this way, by having these feelings? Even though we have that, we're still walking forward into our own life, into our own wants. And yes, you'll still manifest it. You'll still bring it in, because I see you're already doing the work. You're just going through the process. Yep. I'm sorry. Sorry, friend. Yeah, so even if we have some anxiety and nightmares about it, yep, we're still persevering. We're still persevering. We have the strength to move forward, right? You're still strong. Not that sometimes it's really tiring to hear, you're so strong, but you're persevering, right? Despite all the obstacles in the way, you're still making progress. You're still going forward. You're still going to call it in, okay? Last one, and I'll move into what you even need to do about it. Last one on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Oh, so this one's sideways. Because we are working on completing the cycle. Thank you so much. We're working on completing the cycle. In the upright, this represents completing cycles, ending the loop, ending the never-ending. That's fair. It's fine. Never-ending circle, repeating patterns versus staying in the repeating patterns, right? So we're right here. We're right there on that precipice. Yep, we're just kind of going through the fog at the moment and figuring out what's true and what's not, right? Because bats don't have very good eyesight. They have to use their echolocation. So we're having to use our other senses in order to discern and get our truth. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And yes, ending the 8, ending the loop, ending the 0, ending the never-ending merry-go-round of disappointment. So we have our what, and we have our why. Let's see. I'm feeling purple. And let's see what you even need to do about this. Because I can tell you what, I can tell you why, but what do we even do about it? What do we even do about it, Spirit? Whenever I grab cards that are like this, little pocket ones, it always makes me think that we're feeling a bit small. Or in a box. Yes. One or two. We either feel small or we feel like we're in a box. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we may have identified with this for so long that now we're like, well, now what? That was my whole identity, now what? Yeah. That's right, Ari, turning it into that 9. And it's funny because the 9 is like the energy right before you complete the cycle, right? Because 10 is the completion and the start of the new, you know? So what do they even need to do about it at this time, Spirit? What do they need to do about this energy at this time? What kind of practical advice can you give them? Got one. And purple's all about the crown chakra, by the way. So listen to things that you know but can't quite explain. That's your intuition. Page of Cups. It's time to get whimsy. It's time to get whimsy, friend. If life has been way too serious, it's time for things to be goofy. It's time to get unserious. It's time to be unbothered. All right? If you're looking to pour more love into yourself, do so. Okay? Embrace the fish in the cup. Be weird. It's okay to be weird. Being weird means you're not like everyone else. It's time to be different. Yes. Yep. And we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Wands in the reversed. So even though at times we may look at other people and feel like we're unlucky, feel like life is really out to get us, feel like things aren't really working, that's just comparison, friend. Comparison is the thief of joy. All right? Make sure that you are embracing yourself, your own weirdness, your own flaws. Go your own way. Decide what makes you happy. Right? Pour into your own cup and stop worrying about everyone else's meat suits. This is your meat suit. You pilot it. And you stay in your pilot seat. Let's see. What else? So yeah, even if it may feel like at times you're not quite caught up, you're not quite on the same level, like you're not very lucky, those kinds of things, I want for you to understand that that's okay, that's part of the process, and you're still making the progress. Yep, that's what I call these meat suits. Two of Wands, make your plans. Make your plans. You have the whole world in your hands, looking out at the ocean, deciding what's next. That's beautiful. Figure it out. What do you want to do? What have you always wanted to do? Go do it. If you're worried about what other people think, don't. Let them think. Let them think what they want. Let them say what they want. Go do it anyway. Because why is their opinion relevant? Seriously. And Five of Swords. Yeah, watch out for people who are just going to make you feel like crap, okay? You too, Taylor. Make your own plans and don't care about what people are saying in the background. Who cares? Who cares? Seriously. Who cares what they say? Who cares what they're saying in the background? Exactly. They're going to write a story about you anyway. Is it true? Are you that? No. Then move on. Don't worry about it. If they want to gossip, if they want to kiki, if they want to have their little play and spread their little rumors, let them. You don't have to tell them how wrong they are. People can see it if they use their own eyeballs. And honestly, you should be paying attention to the ones who are looking with their own eyeballs and don't believe the rumor mill, all right? The ones who don't care what you're wearing, what new thing you have, how much money you have. Exactly. Don't worry about the people spreading their BS. Don't worry about them. Because let's be real, the ones spreading rumors have their own problems that they have to deal with, and their life ain't pretty either. If that's what they need to be happy, well, good riddance. Exactly. That's right, Man Ray. Tell me more on what they should do at this time. Yeah, even if you fight with people, right? If your friendship or relationship or whatever it is, if it was on that shaky of a foundation where it literally breaks apart over something so small, then good riddance. Good night, friend. I do post summarized videos after my live, so if you ever want to check in on that, feel free to do so. If not, have a beautiful rest of your night, and thank you for spending time with me. What else do they need to do about it at this time, Spirit? Thank you for the follow. Yeah, don't tell people your business. Whenever I see the cards being quiet, it's often a call to move in silence, to not tell everyone what you're doing. Which is true, because usually if they're like this, they're going to give you the doubts towards things, whether intentionally or not. And that will kneecap your manifestations, because they'll already plant that seed of self-doubt and you won't go towards what you want. And again, it's not always maliciously done. Some people just live that way and they repeat the same cycles, not realizing that their well-intentioned advice is actually harmful. Let's see, what else do they need to do at this time, Spirit? Don't be shy. If they want answers, let's give it to them, please. There you go. Thank you. The Hanged Man. Yeah, shifting of the perspective. Perspective shift. Perspective shift. About what? What do they need to change their minds on? What do they need to see? What is it they need to change their mind on? Oh, that's interesting. So we have the Ace of Cups in reversed. The Ace of Cups is usually like new opportunities around relationships, platonic, familial, romantic, what have you. We also have the Emperor and the Empress in reversed, which is interesting, right? The Emperor is all about inner authority. In the reversed, it can often mean like tyrants, controlling, manipulative type of behavior. The Empress in reversed, let me grab her out here. Insecurity, infertility, lack of confidence, lack of growth, overbearing tendencies, disharmony, negligence. So our perspective around relationships with people who neglect us, who keep us in our insecure energy, who keep us from our inner authority, right? From standing on our our own perspective on things. And again, this is in the house of wealth and possession. So this would be the people who make you feel like you're not enough because you don't have certain things. And look towards the truth, right? You need to actually see. Yeah. Watch. Yeah, don't tell people your plans. And when things go well for you, watch and see who's actually for you. Watch who's there with you while you aren't following the latest trends, while you aren't having the things that make people successful. Watch who's there. Watch with your eyes. Watch with your eye. And not necessarily with your ears. Yeah, seek your truth, the clarity that comes out. Strength, yeah, and be strong. Continue to be strong, right? And you don't have to like suffer in silence or anything like that. This is more of quiet that inner self, right? That tries to keep you going back to this kind of energy. Because it will. It will be the same voices you heard telling you certain things, but now it's in your voice and you'll feel drawn to go back. You shut that bitch's mouth up. Quiet that little lion. You say, be quiet. Yeah, leave behind the conflict and be careful of reckless and impulsive energy, okay? If you feel an urge to go back to that, no, don't do that, all right? Just because someone says, oh, well, we're really for you and whatnot, or they apologize or whatever, if you've noticed that they've been treating you a type of way because of your bank account, or because of what you're wearing or anything like that, if they keep you in that energy, they're not for you, friend, especially if you're making more than them. If they get weird. Oh, I'm getting that Post Malone song. I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately, but it's like, people are only free when the dinner is. Watch for that energy. That just popped in my head just now. They're only free when the dinner is. Watch for those people. Those are not the ones we go back to. Let's see. What else do they need to do at this time? I wish I knew the name of that song. If you know the name of that Post Malone song, please put that somewhere. That's gonna plague me. They're only free when the dinner is. I'll have to look that up. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Don't worry about those relationships, okay? Even if you have the anxieties, even if you have the memories of them, even if you have the nightmares, don't worry about them, okay? If it's not reciprocal, don't go back to it, all right? Don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to it. That's not for you, okay? Before I forget, let me write that down so that when I post this later, I'll actually put that down for whoever needs to hear it. People are only free when the dinner is. When the dinner is. Because that's gonna haunt me for like 3 days from now. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Oh, thank you. You are an angel. Morning by Post Malone. Yes. Thank you, friend. Yes. Awesome. I hate when I remember. I hate when I don't remember a song. I'm like, dang it. Because Post Malone's not someone I listen to all the time. So I'm like, wait. Yeah, go after your own happiness. Okay? The 9 of Cups is the wish card. They're content. They're happy. They're good where they're at. Right? You want to get to this energy because the 9 of Cups is right before the 10 of Cups. It's right before they find those meaningful relationships. Right? Right before we get that other person. Right before we get the full emotional fulfillment. This is the contentment. We're good where we're at. And now we're just waiting for the other, whoever it is, your found family, your chosen friends, your love interest. We're waiting for someone to bring value to our lives. We want to be in the energy where we don't need someone else to come in to bring us our happiness. We don't need someone to come bring us our happiness because we're already content, and they can come in and give it a bonus. The Five of Pentacles. You know what? I will give you... I'll have to think on that, okay? Five of Pentacles. Yeah, leave behind the ostracization, the feeling left out, being left in the cold, victim mindset, being bullied. We don't want that no more. Let's leave it behind. You don't gotta replay their words. You don't gotta replay that. That's more about them than anything else. It has nothing to do with you, okay? Let's see. What else do they need to do about it at this time, Spirit? Sideways energy. That's funny that came out so close. Look at this. That's that 10 of Cups. What did I just say? Get into this energy. Now this is sideways. So this would be current energy. So it's like getting into that spot and leaving behind this victim energy, because that will draw in this, because you won't need that validation or that happiness to come from someone else. Okay? That's so crazy when that happens. I love it when that happens. What else do you need to do at this time, Spirit? 111, manifestation. Continue doing your manifestation work. Continue your affirmations, your subliminals, your journaling, your praying, whatever you're doing in order to call in this life, continue doing it. Another sideways. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let go of that betrayal energy, okay? Let it go. Let it go. Pull the swords out of your back. You don't need it. That's 2 10s, breaking the cycle. Stop letting the betrayals be what keeps you from your happiness. You're giving all your power to the people who put the swords in your back. All right? Thank you for the follows and for the likes. I appreciate it. And the Ace of Pentacles. Yes. That will lead you to the new little opportunity here. Right? I told you this is in the house of wealth and possessions. So doing this will lead you towards that small journey towards your abundance. It will you will get that opportunity. First, we have to heal the mindset. Okay? First, we have to heal the mindset. Because it is very hard to stay financially stable and secure if we are in the middle of keeping up with the Joneses. You know, that is an expensive, draining lifestyle. And if you're with people who are not for you, the first thing they will always drain is your bank account. They will drain your time and they will drain your money every single time. And you don't gotta believe me, I've lived it. Yeah, that will lead you to your recognition. Look at that. Remember how I said we were having a bit of a transition here between these two energies? The devil to the needing that gratification, needing that validation from others. This will lead you to your parade, having your own parade, being around the people who actually really care about you and bring forth this energy. And you'll be able to give it to yourself. Yes, exactly. Shedding your old skin. Beautiful. Class 2. Oh, there we go. And yeah, leaving that regret and disappointment behind. We won't need it. Why would we need it? We're good now. Once you take the swords out of your own back and you take control over your own life and you decide what makes you happy and what doesn't, you won't need the disappointment anymore or the regret. Not that life will suddenly become rainbows, but it'll be easier to handle any obstacles or setbacks along the way because you've already dropped all the old baggage. And you'll be able to stand firm in yourself and say, it doesn't matter what happens because I got myself here and I will continue to carry myself into the next chapter. Last one for what they need to do about it, please. Beautiful. I love that, Peter. Because we deserve it. What else do we need to do at this time, Spirit? Thank you. The King of Cups. Okay. Remember how I said we were in our emotions. We were drowning in our own emotions. Where'd it go? The King of Cups. There he is. drowning in our own emotions, right? We'll replay those thoughts in our heads and it will keep us down for a while, so we won't even go after what we want. We'll be really sad. That's what we do. We write ourselves, right? His throne sits atop the ocean, the feelings, the subconscious. He has to remain balanced. There's that little fishy from the Page of Cups, remember? He's good in his emotions. He's emotionally intelligent, he's emotionally mature, and he's good. That's where we need to be. Letting go of that regret and disappointment, because we're already heading towards the future. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what happens, because I have a crown on. I put my crown here and I will carry myself there. Oh, I mean, I said last card, but clearly there's one more. Thank you. Yeah, because you're doing the work. You're already doing the work. The King of Cups is not Aquarius, no. The King of Cups is the water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, right? But it's interesting that we had so many Aquarius cards at the beginning, and we also had Aquarius in the dice roll. But yes, because you put in that work, you will continue to put in that hard work, because your crown is on. Instead of letting your crown get knocked over every time someone's rude to you, you keep it on. Yep, and now you'll be able to look at your life and actually like what you're putting your time, energy, and effort into. Because you're putting the work in. Beautiful energy. Gorgeous. Oh, that's funny. There's the Lovers again. That will lead to the balanced relationships. That will lead to us not having those self-sabotaging cycles. That will have us balanced in our feminine and masculine energies. All right? That's what will lead to it, is when you stop letting the betrayals govern your happiness. And remember that you can give yourself all the validation and gratification you need. Okay? You don't need the rest of the world to tell you what is and is not good for you. Okay, so I'm being called to go into the advice oracle cards. Before I do that, I always like to put a summarized video for after the live for anyone who missed it. So I do a quick recap and then we get straight into the advice oracle cards. You don't have to do anything, you just have to, I just ask for your patience while I do this, and then we'll go straight on in. So thank you so much for your patience, and I will get straight to it. So that's the recap. Let's get into our oracle advice cards and see what they have to say. I like the oracle advice cards because I feel like they just give you a little bit more food for thought to think on, as well as some practical advice. Because tarot is way more maybe, vague, that type of thing. And if you're looking for animals or something as confirmation, oracle is usually the way to go. You know what I mean? Hi, hello. So let's grab the oracle cards and see what advice they have for you. Who wants to talk today? I am feeling the Dungeons and Dragons one, so let's see where it goes. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Let's see. Yeah, I know this is in health and possessions and growth and harvesting growth. So it's like, I want you to know that if you've already been putting in the work towards this and you're feeling frustrated that it's not coming, you've been making progress and you will see that progress. Okay? You're doing just fine. Oftentimes we think that we're in the void, we've somehow fallen off the path. The void is part of the path. The void is where we kind of get real with ourselves. We have our ego death and then we have the void every time. It's where you get real with yourself and you start experiencing your truths and seeing yourself for who you are, because that's where you meet your shadow. You start seeing yourself for who you are. You start seeing all the wounds you have and how you've been operating from that place. And that's when you start heading towards the light at the end of the tunnel. Some people get stuck in the void forever, and that's fine, right? They've chosen to do that this lifetime. But a lot of people will eventually wake up. Yes, the awakening, yes. All right. Let me light this incense, and then I will pull these cards. There we go. A little bit more protection and healing and cleansing. Okay, because the void is a rough journey. I've been there. It sucks. One more. Spirit, let's ease their anxieties and soothe their fears. Bring them some guidance and advice to help them on their path and give them the clarity that they need in order to move forward. Let them leave this live or this video when I post it later. Let them leave feeling lighter, less heavy. Some advice from my collective here, please. Advice for the collective here, please, today. In the middle of the night. Warrior in reverse. Yeah, I don't think you're aware of how strong you actually are. The warrior card, it's like you're not aware how strong you are. You feel weak, you feel powerless, but you're not. You're not that way at all. That's where you need to begin. You need to remember that you're way stronger, wiser, more intelligent. Well, that's wiser. You know what I mean. You're way more than you think you are. You don't need other people to tell you that. You've been through a lot and you're still here and you're still working on yourself. And that's extremely powerful. Strength is more than just how heavy you can lift. There are plenty of strong people out there who can lift a lot, but they can't apologize. And it takes a whole different level of strength to be able to admit you were wrong, messed up, and do something about it, you know? There's way more ways to be strong. Not that we like hearing we're strong all the time. It gets very annoying. Ship. Oh, yes, you are stronger than you think. And your ship is waiting. You're on your journey. You're on the journey right now. You're going through the storms. You're going through the sea. There are calm waters and there are turbulent waters. But you are stronger than you think you are, okay? You're able to handle it. You're able to go through the waters. You will find your destination. Yes, you will. If you're paying attention to what lurks beneath the waves, if you're paying attention to what the monsters are and what they are not, you will find your way. Aberration. Interesting. Aberration is dealing with things that aren't natural. Just like going the unnatural route. It's okay. Go the unnatural route. If everyone's telling you to go one way, don't. You don't gotta do that. Yeah, the aberration's like the supernatural. It's like weird stuff that doesn't make any logical sense. Logic doesn't need to be applied here. Logic is not always needed. I know, that's a crazy thought, right? Sometimes if you're in the void, you try to out-logic it, but that's not how that works. You can't out-logic your darker self. You have to meet yourself where you're at and figure yourself out. Yeah, being rebellious. Well, that's crazy considering how much Aquarius I got in this reading today. Tell me more, Spirit. More advice. Thank you. The priest. Yes. So yeah. Aberration and priest. That's funny. This is the time to be strong in your intuition and your faith and to believe that things don't always make sense. Okay? Things aren't always going to make logical sense, and that's fine. As you navigate, right, it's okay for things to not make sense. Not everything will. You're still strong enough. You're still on your journey. It's not going to make sense. Some days you're going to be worse off. Some days you're going to be better. 2, 3, 4. You're still going to make the progress. Some days you'll do 3 steps forward and some days it'll be 2 steps back. But always remember, even if it's a toe forward, it is still progress. Every single time, okay? Some more advice from my collective here today. More advice. Again, that advice of not telling everyone your business is also very strong here. I told y'all you're in the void right now. You're in the void. This is the current energy, the void. The void sucks. It's painful. It's rough. Confronting your shadow side, your ego, is hard. It's not easy. It's especially not easy to realize that you don't have to fight it. You just have to embrace it and work with it. right? You're not here to defeat your ego. That's not the point of being here. We're supposed to have egos. And ego does not always mean like some big bad thing. It's just a part of ourselves that we said were bad, so we shoved them in a cage somewhere and hoped it would die off on its own, right? It's all the parts of ourselves that we say are bad. That's where we are. We're currently here in the dark. Void, kind of. The void is more painful. Moon is more illusion and fog, whereas the void is in the dark. And at the end is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So as you leave the void, right now we feel like we're stuck there. We feel like life really sucks and it's going to continue to suck forever because we're in the void, and that's what it feels like in the void. But it does come out. We're here. We're still in the middle. We're still in the void looking for the light. The light is within you though. You see how it's inside? It is deep in there. You'll find it. You're dealing with the waters right now. Celestial and monstrosity. Interesting. So your angels are with you. Your spiritual team, whoever you believe in, they're with you. They're there. They're there. They're guiding you along the way. And then, like I said, as long as you're looking beneath the waves and you're paying attention to the monsters, sometimes the monsters don't look like monsters. Sometimes they look friendly, right? And that's where the moon card comes in. That discernment, paying attention. Watching the waters. What is a monster and what is not? What parts of my subconscious are truly hurtful to me and what just look really scary? And looking around at the people around you as well. Seeing who appears friendly but is contributing to the pain and suffering, right? Whether intentional or no. Just because they don't mean to hurt you doesn't mean we just continue to let them hurt us. Thank you for the follow and the gifts, friend. I appreciate that. Any more advice, Spirit? Jester. Yep. Oh, man. Okay. Not everyone's gonna like this. This is the ability to laugh at your own misfortune. Thank you so much. And every time I get this card, it's like smiling at the irony, right? It's learning to laugh. It's that Page of Cups energy. It's like, man, so like for instance, if I was to use myself, I would say, man, I really joined the military thinking I was going to do something, and then I got hurt and disabled, which led to my dream of being a chef not quite going very well. That's hilarious. And like at first you'd be like, wow, that's really sad. And I'm like, not really, because now I know how to make bomb ass food and I don't have to deal with people screaming at me all the time. Even if it means I can't walk or run very well. It's still funny to me because I have met people along the way who have been really good for me and really bad for me. But to me, I still hold the good memories from those times, even if I find it kind of hilarious that in doing so, I went through some of the most painful times of my life, and yet I still win in the end. You know what I mean? I'm still here. I still have all the knowledge and skill I took from those things, and I can apply it now to the future. And you can look at it and find it funny. Many years down the road after you've not gotten over, but dealt with the pain from it, you can kind of look back at it and find it funny. You're like, man, I really thought I was going to be like I thought I was going to be like a career soldier, or I was going to be like some master chef, and no, that's not what happened. Now I'm here doing tarot readings. How funny is that? Yeah, laughing through the pain. Laughing really does give you that serotonin boost that you desperately need, but it also makes it so much less serious. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the point, is even if it's painful, you're not dismissing it by laughing at it. It's more of you're taking the power away from it to continue to hurt you by finding things funny. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I did not want to do this for the longest time, but you know, when spirit calls, sometimes you just have to answer. Let's see. Any other advice for the collective, or shall I release them back into the wilds? The Fool. The Jester followed by the Fool. You're welcome, friend. The Fool. Embrace the new beginning. Go forward. Laugh at the parts, like take the power away from the parts that hurt you, right? Isn't it funny that it came right after it? You see how he's running with a bag full of stuff? It's so full that stuff is falling out. Be so unbothered. Yeah, be so unbothered. You'll eventually get to the point where you have a bag full of stuff, and even if stuff falls out, it doesn't matter because you still have a bag full of stuff. That's so funny. My spirit team is a bunch of jokesters. They really are. And yes, I agree. You should have a good ass time while you're alive. No matter what. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Watch out for the people. Watch out for the people who, that's true. Yes, Andrea. Hello. Watch out for the people who give well-intentioned advice that makes you feel like you're stuck, right? Because just because people give advice doesn't mean it's good for you. It can be perfectly good advice, but that doesn't mean it's going to help your situation. And sometimes people will give advice even though you didn't ask, right? It's well-intentioned advice, but it's not always good advice. If it makes you feel like this, like you're a prisoner to your circumstances, like you don't have the key to your own lock, like you don't have the pen to your own life, stop listening to them. Stop listening. Especially if you look at their life and it's a dumpster fire. If you don't want to end up in the dumpster fire, don't listen to their advice. Unless they're saying, don't do this or you'll end up in the dumpster fire. That's the only one you listen to, okay? Otherwise, don't. It doesn't matter how well-intentioned it is. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter because it will still hurt you in the end. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's true, yeah. And we have the Lance. Ooh, someone's not gonna like this, that's fine. Sometimes pain is necessary to heal from pain. And you're probably looking at me sideways like, what the hell you meaning? When there is rot and infection, sometimes you have to cut things off for the pain to not continue to spread. Okay, this void, this pain here is needed. Facing your shadow, facing the parts of you that you find ugly, seeing those parts of you and facing who you are is painful, but it's necessary because it stops you from continuing to sabotage your life and be around people who continue to spread the infection. All right? Sometimes we have to be aware that we have a shopping addiction and we need to stop buying everything. Sometimes we need to be aware that we're surrounding ourselves with people who are only free when the dinner is. We have to recognize these parts of ourselves. We have to recognize when we're like, oh, I have this desire to be liked. Why don't I like myself? Why do I need everybody else to like me? You know? Yes, exactly. And yes, that's absolutely right. Your shadow side is not something you should be trying to suppress or get rid of. You're supposed to work with it. The reason it becomes so painful and harmful is because we keep telling it to shut up. We keep telling it to go away. We keep telling it, we're like trying to kill it off. Our shadow side is part of us. We have to use both sides to have a balanced life. That's so important. In order to make good decisions in your life, you have to engage both parts of you. If there's too much light, it burns away everything, and you're never allowed to feel anything. If there's too much dark, you never have hope or optimism. You never have good feelings because you're always stuck in the dark, you know? You have to balance it. It's so important to balance it. Woo! Goodness. And the elemental. Yeah, it's way simpler than you think it is. Get to the core of it. It's so simple. Okay? Get to the simple part. Get to the very core of that feeling and pull out the root. Figure out what the problem is and yank it out. Lance it. Get it out of there. Oh, I dropped so many cards. Hold on. Even if it's painful, even if it's chaotic, even if it makes a big mess. Thank you. Love you too, friend. I'll do 2 more cards and then I will leave y'all to the rest of your night. You too, Bryn. Thanks for spending time with me today. Two more cards of advice from my collective here today. I have put away my yes and no tarot cards, so I will not be answering those at this time. Thank you. Let's see. Last two cards of advice from my collective here today. Besides to just keep quiet about their business. Yeah, balancing the scales. Balancing the scales, right? Getting that balance in. The Lovers is also a card of balance. So balancing that part of yourself, balancing the light and the dark. Okay? Don't be afraid of the dark. Don't be afraid of your shadows. They're as much a part of you as your light. All the good parts of you are just as important as the parts that aren't as good. There's no bad part to you. It's just how you're operating from trauma. And that's the last card. The maze, yeah. Even if it feels like a maze, even if it feels like you're never going to find the exit, you will. All right? This is the point where you're going through the maze. You will get there. All right? Keep your hand on the right wall and keep on going. You'll get there. Navigate the turns. Make your decision on that little crossroad. Okay? Yeah. And then you'll be free. Yeah. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that was helpful. That's absolutely right, Peter. If you want well, first and foremost, thank you so much for your time and your energy. Thank you for choosing me to be your reader for today. I really appreciate it. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. It's not clickable yet. Pardon me. I need 1,000 followers for it to be clickable. That's fine, but it's there. Goodness. If you're watching this in the YouTube when I post it later, the links will be in the description box down below. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all have a good rest of your night. Goodness gracious. If you've chosen to follow me and you vibe with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I wish you so much love, luck, healing, abundance, joy, and happiness and wealth on your journey. Remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, all right? And if you have not chosen to follow me, that's fine. I hope the same for you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.